Well, hello model car fans. Welcome to the Muscle Car Modeler. My name is Raul, and this week I'm going to feature a build here of a 72 Challenger Rallye. Now, a lot of things that happened and changed, so can you imagine walking into your Dodge dealer after you've been saving your money and admiring those 70 Dodge Challengers, the RTs with the high output engines, and 71, the same thing, and you walk into your dealer after saving up and you finally got enough money to pay for most of it or a huge down payment on it, and you walk up to the salesman and says, "Yeah, I'd like to get a Challenger RT, please." "Oh yeah, we got some used ones over here if you want to check them out." "No, I don't want a used one, I want a new one." "Well, I'm sorry, but the RT's been replaced by the Rallye." "Oh, the Rallye? Yeah. Alright, cool. Tell me a little about that, or show me one of those. Does it still have the hood blackout?" "Yes, it's got the hood blackout." And the nice aggressive hood on it?" "Yeah, it's got the performance hood on it." "All right, cool. What about stripes?" "Yeah, it's got stripes. Those are available on it." "Oh, cool. All right, what about the Hemi?" "No, I'm sorry, Hemi's not available." "What?" "No, we don't offer the Hemi anymore for 72. "What about the 446 pack?" "I'm sorry, we don't offer that either." "Well, about the 440? "Well, if you want a 440, you're going to have to get a Charger." "Wait, I can get a 440 and a Charger, but not a Challenger?" "Yeah, that's true. If you want the 440. "Well, what about the 383? "Sorry, that's been replaced by the 400, but also that's only for the Charger." "What do you mean? You don't offer that anything else?" "No, not really. The Challenger, the Rallye, you've got your choice of the 318 or the 340. "The 340? Yeah, it makes 240 horsepower. "It makes 240 horsepower? "What happened to the Hemi?" "Sorry, it's gone." "Why don't they offer the 440 and the Challenger?" I really can't answer that, but the 340 is the top engine. It's quite a car. It performs pretty well." "Really? Alright. What about in violet?" "Sorry, we don't make that color anymore." "What? You don't offer in violet or plum crazy?" "No, we don't. That's only, that was last year's models." "Well, what about some of the wild colors?" "Well, we still offer the bright Hemi orange or top banana yellow." "Okay, well, all right. Well, let me see what you got." "All right, well, yeah, head on over here." Well, yeah, for 72, the Challenger took quite a beating in options, and it's funny that 70 and 71, every engine that Chrysler offered was available in a Challenger. But then comes 72, they dropped the Deputy model that was available in 71 and the 198 cubic inch inline 6, so even that wasn't available. Only the 225 inline 6 was available as the base engine in the base Challenger, and then when you stepped up to the Challenger Rallye, you stepped up to the 318 or the 340. Those were the three engines available. So I mean, you want to talk about really cutting down your option sheets. Shaker hood was no longer available, although that was somewhat limited production in 71, so it got pretty hard to get, and even for 71. But for 72, they upgraded the taillights, so they changed the taillights to these round ones here. Well, not really round. They upgraded the grille, and not very many people like this grille compared to the 70 and 71s. Some people liked it because it was now mostly body color, but the grille was smaller, but it had a frown to it, and then bumper guards. But they did keep the hood and some of the look. They added these vents on the sides that were either they were not functional, and then the strobe stripe graphics on the side, and then just a couple other updates. They went with the more generic marker lights and put the Challenger emblem all the way on the back of it. But yeah, the RT was dropped and the Rallye was replacing it. You still got the Rallye gauges, the Rallye wheels. So most of the options were still there, but when it came to the engines, it was really tamed down. And same thing with the colors. And also the convertible was dropped. So if you wanted a convertible in 72, they were gone. So it's kind of interesting to see all of that, and you can see the Challenger sales did take a beating for 72, which is completely understandable. Some like 26,000 units were made, but oddly, the Rallye package jumped. 71, it was something like 4,000 RTs, and The RT was not available in a convertible for 71 for Challenger, but the convertible was still available in the Challenger line in 71, just not an RT version of it. So the RT sales really took a beating in 71, but in 72 the Rallye package replaced it, but sold a little over 8,000 units. I think it was 8,123. So the Rallye package actually sold better than the RT package did for 71. But it's just kind of strange because the 340 engine being its top dog, and it was also rated at 240 horsepower, which isn't really all that bad considering they had to go to a net horsepower rating instead of the full-blown horsepower ratings, gross horsepower ratings that they had for 71. So they actually still performed fairly well. It's just on paper they looked less powerful. The pop-open gas cap disappeared, so that was gone. But it was still a pretty good car. And like I mentioned, the colors were limited down. Some of the bright colors, like this is supposed to be top banana yellow, which it's just a bright yellow that I had that I used. I couldn't tell you what paint I used when I built this. This was not too long ago, 6 or 8 years ago, but I don't remember exactly when I built it, and because I've been tinkering with a bunch of these off and on. So I've got a number of these since Challenger is one of my favorite cars. I really love the 70 Challenger RTSC. That's my favorite. I mentioned that in that build video. And I like the 71s, but the 72 to 74s, it's not that they're not junk. It's just compared to what the 70 and 71s are, the 72 and later ones are not quite the same, you know, getting away from big block. But you can still make a very performable car out of it, which, you know, they're still really cool. But they're a lot cheaper because of it, even though some of them are not really harder to find, the 72, 3 and 4s. They're just less valuable, and, you know, but people are still restoring them. I do like the grill thing that they added on the side. I thought that was pretty cool. Strobe stripes are a little strange. I really like the stripe packages that the 70s, 71s had. But they did keep this hood, which I think is really cool. And then I put the 340 in this one, so it says 340 on the side there. And these are Keith Marks decals. And this is an old MPC kit, if you're wondering, which there's really not a whole lot of options when it comes to the 72, 3 and 4. So this is a 72 annual, and it actually has the 72 bumpers. The kits themselves, 72, 3 and 4, they're really not much difference. The interiors are all the same. Most of the plastic's all the same other than the dated bumpers. The 74 hood actually says 360 because the 360 became available, but the 73 and 72. And the bumper guards got a little bit different. They got a little bit more exaggerated for 73 and 74. But I did do some serious kit bashing to this one, like I've done to some other Challengers. So this one has the 340 in it, but it has the 340 from the AMT 71 Duster. So I've done quite a bit of kit bashing, and I love this motor. It takes quite a bit, but I love this motor. And I painted in the 72 colors because the engines went back to Chrysler blue, and the air cleaners went to orange, which is what they did for 72. So you really didn't get any more of the orange engines for 72. So, and then the hood is not modified at all. This is the kit hood, other than taking the pins off because it's got the cowl. The whole engine compartment, that's also from the AMT 70 Challenger kit. So I swapped that in along with some of the AC components that came from the Duster. But the entire chassis, that's actually from also the AMT 70 Challenger kit. That's a convertible kit, even though some of the boxes aren't convertibles. So I swapped all of that stuff in. The manual transmission was still available for 72. But I kit bashed this, and these actually fit really, really well. And I just cheated. I cut the exhaust pipes and left the molded in ones here and just foiled them. And it looks pretty good. And I kind of prefer the molded in ones that they offer. And then the tail panel blackout, and then silver paint. And then I like to put foil behind the lenses so it reflects more. So when the light's really hitting it, it's reflecting. And this one came out really cool. I went with the Magnum 500s on this one. I prefer rallies on these cars. And I also did the chrome mirrors on this one, which was an option on them. But this one was quite fun to build, and I really enjoy these. And they're somewhat of a challenge to get all these parts to fit, but it's really not too bad. I mean, a Challenger being a challenge. The hardest part is basically getting the kit and the bodies and kit bashing everything together and making it all work. That's what I kind of enjoy, and I enjoy doing it. Another thing is kind of funny. This one has the AC, but if you can see in there, MPC gives you an AC dash, so it's got the AC vents in there. And this one's actually a manual tranny, which is pretty cool. I put the shifter in there. I dressed it up. I think it was an automatic originally, but I put the pistol grip shifter in there, which I'm trying to remember if that was available for 72 also. I believe it was, but not 100% at this time. You know, research all this stuff and go over many times, but love these cars. They're just awesome cars, and they can be made to perform pretty well. But it's kind of funny that in 72 the Challenger really got stripped of some options, and some of the other cars didn't. Like you could still get a Chevelle SS 454 in 72, Camaro SS 396 in 72, the Charger Rally, you could still get the 440, and there were a few 446 packs made. Roadrunner and the GTX, 440, but the E-bodies really got cut down, the Barracudas and the Challengers. They were one of the first to really take a beating. The Javelins were still around, so all the competition was still around, Mustangs and everything, but Challengers were and Barracudas were definitely some of the first to really get the options really chopped down on them. You know, they came out with a bang, and then they really cut them down. Fun car. I kind of love the research and the history and some of that stuff, but you know, when it comes to choosing how I'm going to build this model, it's like, all right, I'm going to do the Challengers as the top dog, but the 340, that's it. That's the top dog for those years as far as factory stock goes. But I hope you enjoyed looking at this, and as much as I enjoy showing them to you and sharing my builds with you. And please subscribe. If you haven't subscribed or comment, I appreciate it. I really love the comments and the subscriptions. You guys, you have a wonderful Saturday, and I'll see you next weekend.